ාවලිය සහ පර්යේෂණ සම්මන්ත්‍රණය මේසා අයුරින් සාර්ථක වන්නට සහ ගුණාත්මක වන්නට බලපාපු ප්‍රධානතම හේතුවක් තමයි ජාතික මූලික අධ්‍යයන ආයතනය National Institute of Fundamental Studies එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි කවුරුත් දන්න NIFS ආයතනය අපහා අත්පල් බැඳ ගැනීම. ඉතින් මාගේ මේ ආරාධනය එම ආයතනයේ නියෝජනය කරමින් ජාතික මූලික අධ්‍යයන ආයතනයේ අධ්‍යක්ෂක පෙරදින විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ හිටපු විද්‍යා පීඨාධිපති විද්‍යාවේදී සහ ගණිතය පිළිබඳ විශේෂ උපාධිධාරී ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ මහාචාර්ය සාලුක කොඩිතුවක්කු මහත්මයාට මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ඔබ සියලු දෙනා ආමන්ත්‍රණය කිරීමට.
Good morning everybody. Mr. Upale Chandrakumara, the principal of the Kingswood College, assistant principal and the other principals participating from the other schools, and also representatives from the Provincial Education Department and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Kingswood Research Unit for inviting the National Institute of Fundamental Studies, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් අපි කියන ජාතික මූලික අධ්‍යයන ආයතනය NIFS for contributing to this particular important event. Today I am very happy to be here and say a few words mainly due to three reasons. Number one is I already mentioned, because even though it is in the minimum way, the NIFS is a part and parcel of this particular overall process. Our scientists assist the Kingswood Research Unit to review the research articles submitted by these young people. And then secondly, your principal, Mr. Chandrakumara, and I are university mates. That means both of us studied at University of Peradeniya together. And third one is, there are two Kingswood gentlemen at my house. That means both of my sons, one studied here, now he is a uni student now, and my younger son is still studying here. And when these young students came to me and discussed about this overall process, that research symposium and the island-wide competition by the Kingswood gentlemen, and before that, Candy High School girls, that is also research, I can't remember, unit to the association. And then I was very happy and impressed. Why? Usually, when we talk about the research, the people comes into our mind is very famous, partly very old, not very old people like me, right? And then if you are asked to name few scientists or well-known researchers, and then the names you mention is Newton, like names comes into your mind. But while it is the case, the interest in researching by this young generation like you, that is a very good sign. Why I am saying that is, though some people do not understand the fact that the development of the society, or generally speaking human life, as well as the development of the countries, or as a whole, the entire globe, purely depend on science and technology. We simply say that science and technology, but just having the science and technology cannot help the development of the societies, human life, countries, or the world, or no. But when the science and technology is there, we have to conduct research. In particular, scientific research. Why we conduct the scientific research? I would like to say one word regarding this. For my 30 years life at University of Peradeniya as an academic member, people hardly question me, you are conducting research, but we can't see it. We can't see it. But soon after I became the director at NIFS, then there are a lot of questions coming from the high officials, government high officials. They are not researchers. They ask me, sir, your institute conduct research, but we can't see it now. And then they also ask, how your research help the people? Good question, right? But I did not, get angry or responded with the angry thoughts or whatever. Then I simply listened to it. But even I did not answer the question on the spot. Because the reason is, the research is not purely for producing tangible things. වෙන විදියකින් කියනවා නම් අපි රිසර්ච් කරන්නේ මේ අපිට අතින් අල්ලන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් හදන්න නැත්නම් රිසර්ච් එකක් කරාම ඒකේ අවුට්පුට් එක නැත්නම් ඒකෙන් හැදෙන දේ අපිට මේ අතින් අල්ලන්න එහෙමම විය යුතු නැහැ. Usually research are conducted mainly for two reasons. So our main objective in conducting research is, the first one is generating advanced knowledge. And obviously, knowledge cannot be touch and feel. That means intangible. But that's helped many other people or many other scientists to continue the research and come up with the tangible things which can be used by the general public. And then, for example, and now when we were at, now you are, well, I'm just telling this one, from my assessment, according to my assessment, the present generation, that means you, my dear children, you are having a luxury life. You may question, how can it be a luxury life? But I'm talking about compared to our time when we were school children. At that time, we did not have a luxury life like you have. Well, what is the luxury life I mean is, now one of the research talk about here is vehicles used for transportation purpose. And then some other examples means, at your home, think about what kind of equipment or what called materials your parents purchased. In your home, there are LED TVs, LED bulbs, and maybe your fridge at your home. There is no problem with gathering ice within the fridge and so on. And then if you go to the kitchen, there are gas cookers or whatever it is, right? And then the automatic washing machines. And maybe at the bathroom, not every home, but heaters or the greasers, likewise that kind of life you are getting. But earlier when we were at your age, that wasn't the case. Why? That's because the reason is that you are having these facilities thanks to the scientific research and their findings. And then like the general people who do not understand what research is about, they can't understand that in order to bring something beneficial to the general public, we have to carry out the fundamental research for years. I will give you one example. At NIFS, since 1981, this institute exists. And then our scientists found very valuable research outcomes that leads to the commercialized products. You may or may not have heard, but one of that is biofertilizer that is organic fertilizer that can replace urea usage by 50%, and the crop yield can be increased up to 20 to 30%. And then that research outcome was commercialized after about 25 or 30 years of very long research project. And there's another one, but not only that. And then as the young student, you should get to know about, then you may have heard about our scientists talk about we are living in a resource pool, natural resource. And then we call graphite, Sinhaleng api kiyawa mineral. Sri Lankan mineral are found to be the best mineral exists in the world. And then two of our scientists, they carry out a very long period of research and found that this graphite can be used to produce rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. And not only that, they have validated it by producing the very small batteries we use for this wristwatch and like things. And then now they are continuing the research in order to extend it to produce the batteries for laptops, vehicles, and so on. But even for the store in the, we call solar power and so on. And then another researcher, he used this charcoal, again, අපි කියන පොල් කටු. And that research outcome proved that then that research findings can be converted into a product which help to remove oil from the water. And even it can be used to remove the oil from the seawater. And you may be aware about that one of the ship became a huge problem for our environment, and that kind of situation that can be used. But that's not the only fact. The scientists can carry out the research and come up with the commercializable research outcome. But unfortunately, scientists cannot convert them into commercialized product. For that, we need commercialized partners that may be the government organizations or maybe the private sector organization. But that the biofilm fertilizer I mentioned, fortunately we found one of the brave private sector organization, and then we did it. And then that is about the research. And then our institute is purely for conducting fundamental research, but we have not restricted it to the fundamental research, but now we carry out the applied research as well. And then, for example, the 3 research projects I mentioned, they were started at the fundamental research, and then their outcomes, based on the outcomes, we extended them into applied research to produce tangible outcomes. That is only few. There are many more. We have many research projects, and then we have come up with the research outcomes that can be helped to sort out or solve many health issues. But we have to stop there, because when we say health issues, we cannot single-handedly handle these things. Other party involvement is necessary. Even that the fertilizer case, Sri Lankan agriculture department get involved. Without their certificate, we cannot sell them to the farmers. And then what I importantly want to say today is the young school students, you have initiated carrying out the research. Obviously, what you have carried out and reported documentary as well as so far 3 presentations were done, and then our evaluators provide very constructive feedback, and then you have to take this particular opportunity as the foundation for carrying out research. And if I tell you one more thing, when I complete my PhD degree, then I thought, because I carried out 4-year-long research project, then I thought that now I am a researcher. I have got 4 years experience as a researcher. Then at my final defense, that means the final examination to award the degree, at the end of the oral presentation or viva examination, the examiner says that, okay, not like Sri Lanka or those countries, they call by our first name. They said, Saluka, what do you think? Are you a researcher? Then I said, maybe, because I am not sure either. I said, maybe. Then they said that, no, you are not a researcher yet. Now you are qualified to do research. They said, it looked like obtaining a driving license to drive. Why? When we obtain the driving license, we start driving. Then only we face a lot of problems. We make accidents, and then we break our gate, or sometimes the many more articles, or even we may hit the people. That is still we are in the learning curve. And therefore, what you have started is a very good starting point, and take it as a foundation for your research career and try to improve from here to become a very good and experienced researcher. And then before I wind up, I want to say one more thing, because as I mentioned, we as the NIFS, we means our scientists and our members involved in this, reviewing these articles. And then and even in that particular case, majority of the workload is carried out by 2 ladies. One is sitting here, our librarian, Ms. Chandrika Tilakaratna, and the other one is not with us, Dr. Shalini Rajakaruna. They are the ones who took the entire workload and coordinate with the scientists and then get them reviewed. And then today we have a competition, and at the end of the day, the competition, I don't know how many awards, medals, prizes, or whatever they distributed among you. And then when you present it here, or just because you submitted an abstract or a paper, article, you may think that I have done a very good research, and therefore I deserve a certificate or a prize or a medal or whatever thing. But at the end of the day, if you don't get it, then you may think that evaluation may be not impartially done. No. We carried out the evaluation impartially. We did not consider these articles were submitted by whom, from which school, who are the people, motivated them, or nothing matters. What we look at is 2 things. One thing is the content of the research, and then the methodology of the research. And thirdly, the gentleman very correctly mentioned, when you conduct research, just because you carried out a research and get the results and analyze it and report it, that won't become a good research. When you conduct a research, the most important part is the validation. If you fail to validate, nobody believes. Nobody believes it. That's what I mentioned. At the NIFS, there are a lot of research outcomes that are very beneficial to the general public's health. but we cannot do anything beyond that point because they need to be validated by health specialists. That is what we call clinical trials and so on. And then, as very correctly mentioned by the evaluators, just selecting a sample and then collecting the data and analyzing them and then rating them as, excellence, very good, and so on. That is a very good research and a very good starting point, but there is a validation, lacking in validation. And the other thing is, in general for everybody, because I also review few articles, and then I always get the question in mind when I look at the methodology, and then many of the research conducted based on the sample-based research. Select a sample and then collect the data. In generally, it is the well-accepted fact that there are 3 widely used fact-finding techniques. One is the face-to-face interview. Second one is the questionnaire, because the sample size is very large. And third one is the observations. But in most of your work, understandable, acceptable, because at your age, at the starting point, as the body scientist or body researchers, you restricted it to 1, right? But now, where I mentioned, you are having even more facilities. Even the sample size is bigger. If you cannot conduct the face-to-face interview for everybody, why not the online interviews? Now Zoom is there, Meet is there, Google Meet is there, and that kind of things about those things. And then lastly, I want to say that that's also pointed by the evaluator. Whatever the research you carried out, how good it is, different facts. But when you report it means when you report it in a documentary format or the presenting it, you have to give full credit to the original researchers if you use other researchers' ideas, whatever it is. If not, we consider it as a plagiarism or cheating, then what you are doing is you are presenting others' work as yours. That is wrong. These are what we call ethics and other things. And therefore, simply what I want to say is, and then at the end of the day, I really appreciate your overall research work and your hard work as a buddy, young researchers. And then don't disappoint. Even you would not receive a medal or a prize, or you would not be a winner of this competition, but take it as a good spirit and continue to become a good scientist in the future. That means to become a scientist who can contribute to the society, your country, as well as the world as a whole. Finally, once again, I would like to thank the University Research Unit for organizing this particular event, in particular by giving the opportunity for the entire school system of Sri Lanka, and also my staff for encouraging and assisting these young, brave minds. You will be the future researchers in the country. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
මෙහිදී සහතිකපත් ප්‍රදානය කරනු ලබන ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ මහාචාර්ය සාලුක කොඩිතුවක්කු මහත්මයාට සහාය දැක්වීම සඳහා මේ ආරාධනය ජාතික මූලික අධ්‍යයන ආයතනයේ ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ සහකාර පුස්තකාලාධිපතිනි චන්ද්‍රිකා තිලකරත්න මහත්මියට.
The top 10 performances. Social science category. The 10th place goes to SSOR2 research. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. A study on the reading habits of school children. Pinidi Omatage and Disney Tilakaratna of Mahamaya Girls College, Kandy. 9th place. Research SSOR'22, investigating binge-watching addiction to Korean television dramas by young teenage students. PG Yenuli Bavanya of Girls High School College, Kandy.
8වන ස්ථානය SSOR'17 සමාජ මාධ්‍ය ජාලා අපගේ සමාජයට ඇති කරන බලපෑම් මහාමායා බාලිකා විද්‍යාලය දිනුෂි වරකාගොඩ කන්සිකා ජයසිංහ තෂිනී රණසිංහ සුදර්ශනී දිසානායක චමල්සා බණ්ඩාර 7වන ස්ථානය SSOR'4 ආගමනයත් සමග වෙනස් වන ජීවන රටාව ළමා මනසට කළ බලපෑම කෙසේද මහාමායා බාලිකා විද්‍යාලය DMI කේශලා දිසානායක UL දනංජී ගන්ගාමිනී පවනී නිසාදිමා යසස්මී අදේශා අස්වද්දු මගේ කාවින්දි සත්සරණී රණතුංග.
The 6th place, research SSCR6, a study of the effect of COVID-19 vaccination program on the youth community of Sri Lanka, a project done together by Kingswood College, Kandy and Mahamaya Girls College, Kandy. STL Gunawardana, PD Aryavansha, TL Bandara, Rashini Seneviratna, Ayuni Senanayaka and Achini Vijayatunga. Fifth place goes to research SSCR4, different views on students on self-study, a research by Girls High School, Kandy, Dahamsa Arabegoda, Medmini Gunasekara and Imandi Palihavadana. Fourth place goes to research SSOR'1 on the topic finding the basis on which students choose A-level subject streams, a project by Mahamaya Girls College, Kandy, KALJ Kulatunga. Natural science category. 10th place goes to research NSCR3, natural dye for different applications by Poramadulla Central College, HKDWM Tarshi Deumini. Ninth place goes to research NSOR'17, adaptations and behavioral patterns of desert animals, a project by Girls High School, Kandy, Achini Nimashi Hapuarachi. 8th place goes to research number NSOR'3 on caterpillars, a project run by Girls High School, Kandy, Manudi Empiris.
හත්වන ස්ථානය NSOR'16 බීජ ප්‍රරෝහණයට ආලෝකයේ බලපෑම් මහනුවර උසස් පාලිකා විද්‍යාලය I ගම්ලත් N බස්නායක S අමරවංශ D නිරාශා R වාසලා.
The 6th place goes to research NSOR'4 by Mahamaya Girls College, Kandy on the topic of effects of selected plant extracts on the growth of chili plants. Ranuki Jayasuriya, Hisara Rajakaruna, Aravindi Somasinghe and Govindi Bandara. Fifth place goes to the research NSOR'14 by Dharmaraja College on the topic Analyzing the Effectiveness of Natural Disinfectants, EGVP Chandrasekhara, ULVI Liyanage, NN Patirana, PB Disanayaka and KBB Kulasinghe. Fourth place goes to research NSOR9, Bacteria Natural Environmentalists by Museus College, Mindi Vitarana, Inuki Jayavira, Tesara Vikramasinghe, Netuli Pallevela, Fahamdi Rambukwella and Tiseni Hevadialage. Applied Science category. Eighth place goes to the research ASOR12, Undeteriorized Fruits and Tubers of Sri Lanka, a project by Girls High School Kandy, Saimi Munasinghe, Tarushi Netmini, Dinali Dulwala, Apurva Bandara and Nimnadi Disanayaka. The seventh place goes to research ASOR6, Energy and Future of the Universe, a project by Vidyartha College, WMEG Pavitra Bandara. The sixth place goes to research ASCR3, the effectiveness of online academic complex among the pupils living in a recessive country, a project by Girls High School Kandy, Yogasuru Kavinya, Dilakshana Ravindreen and Ayuni Fernando. Fifth place goes to the research ASCR2, Importance of Living Fossils in the Studies Related to Prehistoric Era, a project by Mahamaya Girls College Kandy, Netaya Minadi. The fourth place goes to the research ASCR1, Finding Out the Cases of Oral Cancer, a project by Mahamaya Girls College Kandy, Manoli Sahanya and Dehami Sirivardhana.
බොහොමත් ස්තුතියි. ඔබ දෙපළට ආරාධනා කරනවා මත වේලාවක් වේදිකාවේ රැඳී සිටින්නට මහජනතුමනි. ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ මහාචාර්ය සාලුක කොඩිතුවක්කු මහතාට සහ ජාතික මූලික අධ්‍යයන ආයතනයේ ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ සහකාර පුස්තකාලාධිපතිනි චන්ද්‍රිකා තිලකරත්න මහත්මිය ඔබ දෙපළට Kingswood පරීක්ෂණ සංගමයේ විදිහට අපි Experzio'22 මතක සටහනක් ලෙස සමරු තිලිනයක් සූදානම් කර තිබෙනවා. එම සමරු තිලින ප්‍රදානය කිරීම සඳහා මගේ මේ ආරාධනය Kingswood විද්‍යා සංගම් භාර ආචාර්යනී රාජිකා නවරත්න මහත්මියට. ජාතික මූලික අධ්‍යයන ආයතනයේ අධ්‍යක්ෂක ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ මහාචාර්ය සාලුක කොඩිතුවක්කු මහත්මයාණෙනි ඔබතුමන්ට අපගේ ගෞරවනීය ප්‍රණාමය පුද කර සිටිමු.
Thank you, sir.
ජාතික මූලික අධ්‍යයන ආයතනයේ ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ සහකාර පුස්තකාලාධිපතිනි චන්ද්‍රිකා තිලකරත්න මහත්මියනි ඔබතුමියට අපගේ ගෞරවනීය ප්‍රණාමය පුද කර සිටිමු.